Yeah, I know. All my cast here are just wondering when I'm going to get started. Thanks for joining us, guys. This is the first episode of Season 2 of Time of Total Warfare, The Art of War. We will have new art and new overlays next episode, but we weren't quite able to get them finished for this particular episode. We're going to Ancient Magus Bride this shit. If you haven't seen us before, this is a show where we combine the rulebooks for A Time of War and Total Warfare, which are the Battletech Pilot, Foot Soldier books, and the Battletech Giant Mech Stompy books to make a show about a bunch of really incredibly stupid people who get together every week and destroy themselves and everyone around them and make everything worse. And then some Russians show up at the end to provide comedy.
Hey.
Let's reintroduce ourselves because this might be a bunch of people's first time watching this show. And I know a couple of people said that they don't have time to catch up on Season 1. They're just going to start on Season 2. So we are also going to recap in episode, in character, the last season. I know, great, right? But don't worry, there will be fights and there will be clans. Sid, who the hell are you?
I'm just some guy that does things on the internet and makes video game videos. Oh, hi, ladies and gentlemen. I am SidAlpha. How are we doing this morning? And thanks for joining us. I'm a YouTuber. I do video game news, reviews, first impressions, and I'm really excited to get going again. We took a little bit of time off to get things reorganized for
1
season
week off.
2.
Literally took
it's a little bit
week.
that's why I said a little bit of time. A little bit of time. Not a lot of time. A little bit of time. We took like 4 hours off. Right? That makes sense.
I think we only took like 2 hours off, really. To be honest,
we spent 3 hours in that meeting. The first hour was y'all just like talking like little girls, just like, oh my god, let's catch it. Even Pondo got involved in the conversation. That's how. That's an in joke. Which, if you didn't start in Season 1, you're not going to get that one.
Yes, it's excellent. And this week has been great. The new Battletech video game from Harebrained Schemes came out, and I've gotten to play a little bit of it. Arthur has gotten to play a lot more than I have, but I've gotten to play a bit of it.
I play a lot of it myself.
Actually, really good.
I'll check my Steam page here. Good. Let's see what it says. I've
played shit all of it.
15 hours of Battletech.
I have 6. So
I have 13.
Oh, so I'm way behind, and yeah, working through it though. It's good. It's a good game.
I mean, look, I didn't get to play Sea of Thieves with Rad, and I didn't get to last night play Battletech.
You didn't miss anything with Sea of Thieves though.
Oh boy, look, we don't need to rehash this argument for the third time across 3 shows.
Who do you get to play Battletech with?
You last night.
I mean, you could have messed. I didn't know you were wanting to play.
No, because see, here's the thing. My show got canceled, and I was gonna play Battletech with you.
That's.
But I laid down to take a nap, and then I woke up, and I was like, "It's 11:30. I'm just gonna go back to sleep."
Oh yeah.
I know you'll stay up till like 5 a.m., but I ain't no motherfucker like you.
You know, having to work overnights at a job will do that to you.
Hell, I'm staying up to probably 5 a.m. tonight for this shit.
Yeah, but that's what you do normally.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Normal case. Right now, staying up at like 4 or 5 a.m. because of working to 4 or 5 a.m. usually does that. I'm sorry, man.
Why are you apologizing to me?
I don't know.
I don't know why either. All right.
I feel like I shouldn't stay up at 4 or 5 a.m.
No, you shouldn't. That's not a thing.
It's bad.
No, it's bad. Yeah. It's very bad.
All right, look, Sid, you can finish your intro as long as you don't make another slam at Sea of Thieves.
Let's see. So
you're like, I'm done.
No, that's all I got then. I mean, I did have this big, huge, long speech planned out about live service games and why they suck. But
look, it seems like your thing right now
is the best example I have for that.
No, your thing right now is going up against Overwatch and loot boxes.
Oh yes, Belgium decided to say, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, that shit's gambling. So that'll be interesting, and it's getting into it's been a huge debate all day on Twitter with people saying, but they need their loot boxes to keep the game going and the content free. The content's not really free. It's getting paid for the loot boxes and the esports and everything else
and
in the game purchases.
You buy the game.
So I decided, God damn it, I'm going to start putting together actual information for people, and I'm going to do a little mini series how Overwatch can survive the lack of loot boxes.
It doesn't need to. Literally, World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm are already making them billions of dollars. They could just coast by Overwatch.
It doesn't even need them. The esports surrounding Overwatch pays more than pays for the game. And
Pokemon Go makes $1 million a day.
Yeah.
Overwatch doesn't need shit. Pokemon Go has nothing.
They don't need the loot
Blizzard.
boxes. They don't need the loot boxes. They just want them because it gets them shit tons of money. Extra money.
Indeed.
All right. You done?
I mean, it's already known that Blizzard already has like a DLC, like 20 DLC expansions packed up in case there's a new MMO that drops by. Coming to say that we're the next WoW killer. Okay,
the big thing is going to come from games like CS:GO and Team Fortress 2, because those games are mostly driven by the skin economy, and if all that stuff disappears, then those games might suffer the circle the drain effect and just go the way of the dodo after a year or so. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
All right. Pondo, you were involved in that discussion. Why don't we have you introduce yourself? It's unusual for you to come out of your shell.
I don't know, man. I've gotten more sleep, maybe. I don't know what's the deal.
And when it's talking about Blizzard games, we can get you to show up.
That's because I don't know. Yeah, I'm Pondothemad. YouTube, Twitch stuff at respectively Pondothemad. Yeah, I've just been playing crap out of Battletech recently. Trying not to destroy all my hopes and dreams in one little glance by doing something stupid. Still happens.
That almost happened to me.
I've only lost one pilot, and it was Decker. Everyone says that Decker dies in the first mission. I kept Decker alive for the longest time, and he was my backup pilot for when someone else gets shot.
It's not hard to keep him alive. Just don't send a spider in where it doesn't need to be sent in. It's not.
Let me tell you something, motherfucker. Let me tell you about keeping a dude alive. Even with 4 hit points, this dude got wrecked. Left torso, right torso, knocked down, stood back up, knocked down again. He was dead.
Oh, yeah, that'd probably do it.
Yeah, he took a goddamn beating.
I play a real reserved play, though, so it's kind of like...
I use him as my bait, so...
Yeah, no, I kind of stopped using baits. So like right now, I just have like an all
baits where it's at. Mechs. Then a nice Shadowhawk or a Vindicator, a real solid, heavily armored mech with a shitty loadout up front to eat all the shots, and then everybody else with LRMs raining down to knock dudes over. Then one guy runs up and stomps on him.
Maybe it's because I don't play as optimally as most people do.
I mean, I don't know if I play optimally. I feel like my strategy is horrible yet effective.
I guess that's where you have to. It's like you can have.
It's
like
one of those strategies where it'll work great until it doesn't.
Yeah, until the moment it doesn't.
Until you have like 20 light mechs coming in at you and.
No. I had a medium company come at me today. I got to take down a heavy mech mission, and I was like, great. His escort was 4 enforcers. And the reinforcement was 4 blackjacks and 2 SRM carriers and a Shrek. And I was like, I can't do this with a medium lance. Like, I could fight any 1 or 2 of those lances, but not 3.
Yeah,
that was brutal.
It's like you really have to be careful, like what difficulty they have, because it might. Because I went up to a lance of. It was like 2 enforcers, a Vindicator. I don't remember if it was a 3rd thing, but 4th thing. I don't remember what it was. I think I took it out easily. They're all fully armored. It's really hard to fight fully armored people, like medium mechs.
No, you punch them in the back.
I didn't really have anybody that could punch them in the back.
Look,
that's my thing.
You're not listening when I say LRMs knock a dude over, because when you got a dude knocked over, you can cold shot and then just start taking out their torso pieces.
That's fair.
So that the pilot gets damaged, and then eventually their torso either explodes or the pilot dies.
Maybe I just need to strip all the armor off my Centurion, just load it up with LRM-20s, have it go to town.
Yeah, exactly. I have 3 LRM-10s up in mine. 2 of them are plus or plus plus. It's super great. You can get like a small laser, medium laser, all of them LRMs, enough heat sinks to fire it pretty much continuously, and enough bins to give you like 20 or 30 shots. Yeah, dude. Pondo's like, all right, I'm gonna start up the game right now. I'm gonna do that in the background. That thing, listen, with that much customization, that thing will be in the bay for like 15 days.
Yeah.
So since the three of us have actually played Battletech, let's give it a rating score. I'm gonna give it a 8.5. There is a lot of improvement that they could do to this game, but it is fun, and I feel like I could play it for a super long time. Also, you know, it's been declared officially canon, which is super weird, and I'll tell you why. I didn't notice it at first, but your leopard flies on the outside of the Argo, which means that when the Argo connects to the dropship, your leopard is also connected to the dropship. And canonically, chaining dropships in Battletech is a good way to cause your jump ship to explode.
Mm-hmm.
But not anymore, so... Sid, what would you rate it at? Sid's like, I would give it a 6, but that's pretty high in my books. I've only given it a 10 once in my life.
Twice.
I'm
not exactly a big fan of assigning numerical values for rating a game.
Fine, give it a grade, A, B, C, D, or F.
I'd say
you can also give it S or double S.
I'd give it a solid 8 because the game did launch with a fair amount of issues. It's not a perfect launch by any means. There's definitely some optimization issues, and there's some quality of life improvements that could be done with the UI that are just missing. I figure about 3 to 6 months down the line, I'd probably bump it up to a 9 once they have a chance to get the bugs and everything sorted out.
Pondo?
It's a really good game.
I give it about a 9.
All right.
Because I mean, I have hit like a couple weird glitches. Sometimes there's like random bits of armor that were just like taken off for no reason without.
Yeah, I assume they're going to keep fixing the game. But
yeah.
Look, my biggest beef right now is with the storyline. Specifically, Lady Amano. I don't know if you guys are in far enough yet, but she does this huge speech where she's like, everything that's happened is my fault. You've all been treated like slaves, and you've had the shit taken from you, and it's my fault. And I'm like, I know they're playing inspiring music, but this speech is horrifying. I wouldn't follow you. I would fucking leave.
It's like, you're right.
Story-wise, as far as I am in the story, she basically just showed back up after we did the first.
Yeah, don't worry. Listen, you'll get to that speech.
I'm on to the second storyline mission. It's basically waiting to drop after we finish the stream here.
Have fun. The priority missions are actually super tough, and they're designed to be because they give you huge rewards.
Yeah, the last one was like, Jesus Christ, here's like this third lance of mechs and 2 freaking lances of vehicles.
No. Wait till you get to the one where you show up and it'll be an entire lance of heavy mechs. You need to capture that Jagger mech. You need to fucking punch the shit out of that motherfucker.
Are you talking about where it's like the second one was, the freaking turrets tore me up.
Really? Turrets?
I just couldn't get to like the
I just stood back and I sniped them.
Well, the problem is like half my lance, like 3/4 of my lance have jump jets, and I jumped them all and had to run the Centurion around. Yeah.
Look, Pondo, let me tell you about this thing called ranged weaponry.
My Centurion has jump jets.
Yeah, I mean, look, the optimal lance has all jump jets as well. It's what I've been trying to get you guys to recognize in this game.
It is.
That jump jets are amazing.
I mean, that's why I was asking, could I get a variant, Black Knight variant with jump jets on it?
Of course not.
Yeah.
They have them in Mechwarrior.
Yeah, and in Mechwarrior, your guy also spends like okay, look, in Mechwarrior, they've got like 20 mech techs on board, and they spend their entire time working on one mech. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
As it should be.
We only have one.
No, you have one for each of your mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing now?
Yep. I'll actually share the company sheet, but
okay, that's good. We don't just have the Baron.
Yeah,
we don't just have the Baron anymore.
The company sheet is pinned on Discord in the Battletech.
Yeah, it was. I think we already have. Oh, you're sharing it with.
Yeah, but I'm sharing it with the public if they want to go in and see what the new loadout is. But yeah, you have one tech for all of your mechs, and then an Aztec for all your vehicles. English, let's see your introduction. People might be wondering why I didn't go to Rad, because I normally go to Rad first or second, but he's still doing artwork, so I'm trying to give him time.
English, I'm doing it right now.
Who are you?
I am Englishmudkip. I occasionally stream on the rare occasions. I play Swordsman's games. I follow all these fuckers somewhat religiously in some aspects, but yeah. And
don't follow me religiously.
On Twitter.
Weird.
If you worship me on Twitter, you got some problems.
No, I just follow everything and just.
I'm just like liking and retweeting Catgirl fan art. So
exactly. Besides, that would be considered idolatry, which is a sin.
Rad's like, that's true.
It's true.
There is no sins, but yeah, my week's been pretty fine. I do not have to freaking do the new Monster Hunter raid anymore. I got all my shit I needed.
Don't worry, there'll be a new raid out soon enough.
I kind of want an event to be a new event to come out because of God of War, so you can get the freaking Chaos Blades in Monster Hunter. That would be dope. Yeah, but yeah, I've been volunteering in my in the local town there where I live on the weekend. So yeah, I've had a somewhat productive week.
All right, excellent. Rad, it's time. You got to pay attention now.
Okay, I'm here.
Who are you?
I'm hip. I am Raddosaurus on the internet, and this is mostly the only place you can find me. I do commission artwork that I'm actually working on right now. If you have artwork that you need done and you have absolutely no deadline or time frame that you want it finished in, I am the commission artist for you, because I will knock that shit out at my convenience in a very slow fashion. So yeah,
listening to like a spoof advertisement. If you want absolutely nothing to get done for your offer, contact me right away.
Look, Rad, I know you're saying that, but I remember when it took 6 months for me to get the Winter's Edge 2 art done, and I'm still waiting for the Edge of the Empires art. That was almost 3 years ago.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get it
for that show.
I mean, sometimes I get an update like once a year, and I'm just
really?
Like, listen,
oh
just
my God,
we're done. You don't have to do it. And they're like, no, I'll get done with it. And I'm like, look, I can see on Twitter you're not making art anymore. You're super art block. Please stop.
Please stop.
You don't have to do it. You have no obligation to me.
So yeah, other than that, other than being a failed commissionable artist,
you're not a failed. Listen, you're as far from failed as you could be.
Don't listen, Arthur.
If you were a failed commissionable artist, I wouldn't keep coming back to you.
That's. I guess there might be some merit to that statement.
Don't do commissions anymore.
You got dunked on.
Yeah, I'm not currently accepting commissions. You're right. I should mention that. Once I get done with all the Battletech stuff and a few fiddly bits that Arthur has me working for another project, I will be revamping all of my commission process to make it a little bit easier on both me and the customer. So it's going to be fewer options, but higher levels of productivity.
Choose your due date. 3 months.
Choose the length of the sword.
Yes. You'll get a little you'll get like a Google form that's like, how soon do you want it? Trademark soon.
Soon is that plus 10 days, like, and
exactly.
A month is about maybe.
I'm sorry, but soon
month and a half
has already been taken.
Yeah. Other than art, I've been diligently being a stay-at-home dad as per usual. I've completed a lot of yard work. I've built some expansions on my children's playground fort, I guess, that I build. Play fort, sure. So it has a slide now, which gets way too hot to touch during the day. So that's pretty nice. I'm doing my sod next is probably my next big thing. I poisoned portions of my yard to kill all my weeds and stuff. So next I'm going to have to level it and put grass down. It's already pretty hot here though, so that kind of sucks. I am now a delivery food guy, which is weird. It's weird being a college graduate that's been in a professional career for 14 years. And
I haven't been there yet, but
been in a professional career for 14 years and is well into his 30s, and then be delivering food out of his truck. It's pretty.
Listen, I know that sounds weird to you, but there were a lot of people who did that when I was a manager.
It sounds weird, but it's also it's pretty pleasant. I sit in my truck, I drive around, I listen to audiobooks or music that I want to listen to. It's liberating.
The kids don't have the patience for it.
Right.
They just want to fucking smoke weed or deliver weed.
You're
laughing, but I said that completely serious.
Yeah, it's I find it kind of therapeutic. Like, and it's, I shit you not, a fucking monkey could do this job. Like, if monkeys could operate automobiles, they could absolutely do the job that I do. I'm not trying to do a shameless plug here, but I work for a company that's basically like Uber Eats, right? It's called Waiter without the E. And they affiliate with local restaurants. And then so when somebody's hungry, they go on their Waiter app and they go, I order this food from this restaurant. And Waiter has a flat fee of like $5. You pay like $5. And any of the restaurants they're affiliated with basically become a delivery service. So I have my phone and my app. And when somebody orders food, it pops up. And whichever driver that's on their shift pushes it first is the one that gets to do the order, right? So you just basically watch your phone. And when it pops up, the job is literally push the button, follow the blue line, get the thing, drop the thing off, fucking push the button again. Like that's it. That's the whole job. If you can get things and put them in a bag.
Don't understand why they don't just use drones.
And you could.
Because there are people in America with shotguns who believe that you can shoot drones down. I was about to
say the same thing.
Yeah. They have specifically anti-drone ammunition. Yeah. It's made of extremely tiny BB balls because all it takes is one BB ball that gets in a propeller to slow it down enough. The whole thing will flip.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, that's
why they've started designing quad drones so that you have to take out at least 3 of them at the same time.
If people shoot at me with their shotgun, I will just shoot back at them with my shotgun. So it's at least it'll be fair.
Well, then now we just got a war going on there.
Well, so be it. Don't order the war if you can't pay the tip. So yeah, that's it. That's what I got going on. I deliver food now. My son had his first field trip in kindergarten, so I went to the zoo this past week. That was pretty rad. I like the zoo. It is now more or less summertime, so all the animals basically do their best impression of being dead all day. So I mean, it wasn't awesome, but it was all right. I've found if you live anywhere where it's hot, or where if you've been to your zoo and the animals are not very active, the best day to go to the zoo is on a rainy day, because for 2 reasons. Number 1, nobody fucking goes to the zoo in the rain.
Number 2 is that they want to go outside because they're not dying.
And number 3, the animals have a fucking ball in the rain. They run around and play with shit, and they're all excited, and they're cool, and they're cooling off.
Yeah,
just wear clothes, wear like your bathing suit and a tank top, and flip flops, and just fucking go to the zoo in the rain. It's the best days I've ever had at the zoo have been zoo in the rain. Pro tip for all you zoo goers out there.
Now I'm picturing how McGurk goes to the zoo.
Yeah, he just fucking
he's pretty much dressed
Soldier
up as
76 Grill Master.
Yeah. That's it. So that's how I go to the zoo. So yeah, that was fun. Successful kids field trip. Nobody got lost or eaten. So we'll count that as a win. I have been working on this art stuff. I'm actually going to be slowly funneling it to Arthur throughout the show. I don't know that you'll see any of it pop up because Arthur's very busy during the show. He is a master orchestrator of all things. So that's why my camera is actually a little bit of a weird angle, because I have my computer laid down in front of me and I'm kind of drawing on it a little bit as I go. So if I look weird, I mean, I just look weird, but if I look weirder than usual, that's because my camera's in a weird place. I'm super pumped about Avengers this weekend. This weekend is my birthday.
I'm not going to get to watch it. Oh, happy birthday, motherfucker.
Thank you. So yeah, it's my birthday. So I got some cool stuff going on. It's actually both me and my brother's birthday. My brother's birthday is the day after mine. So it's like our birthday weekend. So we usually do stuff together. So we're doing a crawfish boil on Saturday. Then we're doing It's gonna be fucking. Dude, I'm gonna start fasting. Like tomorrow, I'm not gonna eat anything. Then I'm gonna eat an unhealthy amount of ditch lobster on Saturday.
Weird.
Yeah, it's it's tied with sushi for my favorite food on the planet. And then I'm gonna go
wait. What type of sushi? Number one sushi.
Like a number. So like I pretty much I'm a pretty tame sushi eater. I eat almost exclusively like rolls, like hand rolls. I don't do like sashimi.
Yeah, I got that.
I'll do like
favorite
a bite of it, but
favorite
that's about
roll.
it. Oh man.
Look, he doesn't even know his favorite roll.
No, because I usually go to places. I'm just like, give me your house stuff, right? Like, and it's all. And I like.
It used to be barbecued eel, but then I found the glory of the Boston roll. That shit is out of its world. Boston roll. Boston.
I've always been partial to the rock and roll, like the big tempura fried roll. Yeah. I've always liked that a lot.
I'm not super big into that because then you got like all that tempura all around.
I like anything with at least one tempura component. So like whether it's something that in it is tempura, or I like crunchy flakes. I like eel. I like tuna, and I like shrimp are my big ones. I especially like the sweeter rolls that are made with like eel sauce dribbled on the top. I'm a big fan of that. But yeah, I like kind of modern fusion. I don't know if it's Americanized, but like fusion sushi, where it's like the newer stuff. That's kind of
it's Americanized.
Yeah, so I like that stuff. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Crawfish, I just like fucking tearing tiny animals in half and sucking their guts out. That's what I'm all about. And then I'm playing D&D at my brother's house. That he's actually his present to me is I'm almost always the DM, so he's going to DM
I know that.
I don't know. It's kind of a one shot, but it's also not really a one shot. So I get to play with me and my wife and my future sister-in-law and some friends of ours.
Is she playing a Tabaxi?
No, which blew my mind. I could not believe she didn't want to be a cat person or a ranger. She's actually a paladin, which is interesting because she's this really funny, like Goblins Lives Matter social justice warrior paladin.
I've done that. Yeah.
So it's pretty entertaining. Because she gets a couple glasses of wine in her and it gets fucking belligerent with people when they start trying to kill goblins. It's pretty great. It's one of my favorite things. And then on Sunday we have tickets to go see Avengers with my brother and my future sister-in-law. That needs to hurry up and happen because I'm tired of saying future sister-in-law. It needs to just be fucking sister-in-law. I'm tired of that business.
Look, I'm just glad that spending time with your wife is one of your favorut things because
it is. I love spending time with my wife.
That's a good one. That's a good one. You need to clip this and send it to your wife.
We have I don't make it sound like too sappy or anything, but we have
oh my god,
we have some activities that we will always do together, and then we have other activities that are like that's our separate thing, right? Like she does. There's some stuff she's into that like I would rather just stay home, and then vice versa for me. And for the longest time, D&D was like my thing, not her thing. And it wasn't really until this last year that basically I had to talk, my brother had to talk his girlfriend into it. So once she got on board, and then like another couple of ours got on board. So like it was going to be like an even distribution of male and female. And the group was going to be mostly new people that didn't fucking know anything about anything. That's when she was like, okay, I'll do it. And she really liked it. And I just, the weight that was lifted off my shoulder when she liked doing the thing that I liked was phenomenal. It was a great feeling. There's still stuff I like to do that she doesn't like to do and vice versa. But it's nice that got added to like the share column in the Venn diagram, then the good little middle part. So pretty pleased about that. That's it, I guess.
What are you laughing at?
I'm just picturing the Venn diagram.
The Venn diagram.
Sitting there.
The middle. Got to get in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, given some of Rad's recent art and his wife's taste in characters, I'm guessing the cat girls are in the middle area, but Rad's just like, no comment. All right.
The sweet spot of the Venn diagram in between the circles.
Great, excellent. We've reverted to being college or younger age here.
I am a food delivery guy. I should be able to do that
already. Like I don't.
That's
already
it.
at that level like a long time ago.
Avengers. I don't guess there's anything to talk about yet about Avengers because I haven't happened.
Look,
but
my beef is with the fact that the next movie in Infinity War is going to have a spoiler title enough that they aren't revealing it yet, which makes me feel like when they release the collective box edition of all of the Phase 1 and Phase 2 stuff, you know, someone's going to be like, listen, let's sit down, Timmy, and watch all of it. And they're like, great, look at all these movie names. Why is the last one called The Death of Captain America?
Captain America Reborn or something like that. You're like, wait, what?
Isn't that a huge spoil? Like, why the fuck would you make a movie title that spoils another movie? That'd be like making Star Wars Return of the Jedi called Star Wars Darth Vader is his father.
yeah. Star Wars Darth Vader kills the Emperor with his bare hands.
No, you have to spoil the previous movie. That's how this works.
Oh. No, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about me. There's nothing much to talk about here. I'm launching a new show with Sid called Kantai Collection RPG, which is about young women between the ages of 12 and 30 who are mystically the reborn power of World War II battleships and shit. Sid is playing a battleship. Everybody else is playing something smaller than a battleship. Not everybody's as hardcore as Sid, or as willing to play on easy mode as Sid. That'll be Monday nights at 8. Monday nights at 9, and you can always follow it on YouTube as well.
Is the battleship girl a bigger girl than the other
girls? She's the biggest battleship as well.
But is she the biggest girl, though?
Oh, are you playing
Yamato? Yes, she is the second tallest of them. The only one that's taller is Musashi. Nagato is also the most popular battleship by far.
Was that the carrier one?
No.
Oh.
No, Nagato's the original battleship.
Okay.
They were only allowed to make a certain number of battleships because of the Washington Naval Treaty, and those 7 battleships were called the Big 7, and Nagato was one of them. And out of those, all of the American and English ones were crap. So everybody's like, oh, look, Nagato had the biggest guns, the most armor, and was the fastest. It's the best. Darling in the Franxx happened. Yep. During the week that we were off. Darling in the Franxx self-imploded and people sent death threats to the creators. And then last episode happened, and everyone was like, great, the show is amazing now. It's at the best it's ever been.
Dude, I have to admit,
I need to catch up.
I saw some GIFs with no context of that show.
Yeah, I was Darling in the Franxx, it's amazing.
I do not fucking understand what's happening.
Look, Rad, let me ask you a question. If you saw GIFs of what was happening on Kill la Kill, it wouldn't make sense either. Like the dude's clothes falling off of him saying, but it was amazing though, right? Because it's made by the same people who made Kill la Kill.
That guy and the sidekick girl are my 2 favorite parts of that entire. Oh, no way! I said that guy, the sidekick girl, and the fucking the lollipop
new Harimi
villain.
Yeah,
those are the best parts of the whole show.
No, I like Satsuki Kiruin the best. She's clearly the toppest tier character.
Anytime you have a character that breaks the 3rd wall and becomes like 2-dimensional,
the 4th wall. Not only does she break the 4th wall, but she's also the only one that interacts with all of the character kanji that shows up to do introductions.
Yeah, that's what I'm about.
In order to dodge attack, she just flips her 2D rotation.
Yeah.
If there was a fighting game, she would be the broken, overpowered one.
She's like the Game & Watch of Smash Brothers.
Wait, what is the name of this one?
She's the Odd Job.
yeah, from Golden.
What's the question?
This is Darling in the Franxx?
Darling in the Franxx, yes. If you aren't watching it, you should be.
Dude, girls are like motorcycles that dudes. I don't know. It's weird.
It's very strange.
I just got done watching friggin' Cancol, which is girls that are battleships. So
maybe it's right up your alley then. I don't know.
Look, Darling in the Franxx is like a 9.5 out of 10 level anime.
I'll give it a shot at some point, but I'm just saying.
It's so weird. Look, you've seen Kill la Kill. It's made by the same people. Okay. So imagine Kill la Kill, but with Battletech, and that wouldn't be too far off.
Okay. I would say it's if Kill la Kill made Pacific Rim.
That's true. If Kill la Kill made Pacific Rim, and they've specifically done a crossover manga where Kill la Kill and Pacific Rim meet up and fight each other.
Okay. I mean, at some point. Arthur has put other shows on my list before this one, but at some point I will watch it.
Yes, that's right. I run all anime games now, including this one. You haven't noticed, but I've made a shit ton of anime references in this game.
The thing was, you weren't planning on being anime. You just made it anime.
No, I make all of my shows anime now.
That's fair.
I specifically went out of my way to recharacterize all of my shows in an anime-specific way, and now people are like, Arthur, I've never enjoyed your games more, and I'm like, that's because it's anime, motherfucker. That's because when that dude shows up with a cloud of mist around him, and he's got a scythe behind him, and his dark hood has red eyes floating out, that's anime, bitch. Do we have anything else we need to cover before we get started? Other than Sid being like, I've never seen a Marvel movie before. That's right, Sid.
That was mean.
How is that mean? You've done that dozens of times. It's like you going up against Sea of Thieves.
I've seen Marvel movies.
All right.
Hey, I did play some Sea of Thieves here in this past week, but I guess maybe we could save that for next time.
We need to save for next time.
5,000 Marvel movies now. It's hard to keep up.
No, there's only like 20-something.
Only 20-something.
Far Cry 5.
All right.
The amount of free time that I have, 20-something movies would take me like a year to watch.
All right. Look, chat. 00 is clearly the best Gundam by far. Nothing else compares. No discussion.
Yeah.
So, let's cut to the beginning of the show here. We start in the darkness of space. There is a jump ship with 4 dropships attached to it. One is the very familiar Crow's Black dropship, the Crow's Nest. We can see that the top of it has got repair plating on it. But the repair plating isn't colored black like the rest of the ship, so it stands out a bit against the hull. The lower left-hand corner of the screen says 0800 local time, June 15th. 1 jump away from persistence, Jade Falcon occupation zone. And then we follow the footsteps of Captain Maxwell Harridan, Warrant Officer Butch McGurk, Warrant Officer Sean Goldhirsch, and Warrant Officer Vincent Gray as the 4 of them enter into the jump ship's briefing room where their liaison officer, Lieutenant Avalon, is waiting for them. And as that happens, we enter into a flashback sequence. That's right.
Good God.
In the lower left-hand corner, it says date unknown, time unknown, place unknown. And we see the former executive officer, but now commander of the unit, Valkyrie, aka Crystal Loft. Over her left eye, she's wearing a eye patch, and her hair has been shorn off, so she's just got a mohawk now. And she's wearing a dark black Crow's Black uniform, but has Thunderbolt emblems instead of commander's insignias. She and several other officers, including Baron, are seated at a military tribunal and are waiting for still Lieutenant Maxwell Harridan. She stares at you with her one good eye and says, "So, Lieutenant, why don't you review for me the events of September 21st? If you'll recall, I was in a coma, and you had taken command of my unit. And yet, why am I seeing some notes here that indicate that you were participating in a mutiny?"
It would be more correct to state that I was participating in stopping a mutiny.
Please, feel free to explain yourself.
Shortly after making planetfall, we engaged enemy forces that caused us to crash land and result in your subsequent coma. And as a result of the lack of leadership at the highest levels, there was disagreement that resulted from some of the troops as to the best course of action. We did our best to try and keep as many of our people alive as humanly possible, but there were people that wanted to go their separate ways or that thought that they knew best. There was disagreement. It was settled.
I see. Why was I not awoken for this particular situation?
Because to do so would have been to greatly endanger your life.
You didn't trust in your chief medical officer, a Dr. Sean Goldhirsch?
I didn't feel the risk was warranted. You are more valuable than any potential perceived advantage we may have gotten at that time.
So she narrows her one good eye and stares at you with a glare. But then there's a tapping on a microphone next to her as Baron, your technical officer, taps in and says, "It's me, Baron. My accent has changed it again. Just stick with it." He's just like Don Cheadle at Iron Man 2. "It's me. I'm here. We're going with it." "Lieutenant, why don't you explain exactly what the situation you settled was? Obviously, that's what we're here to discuss, and since I was there, I can't give testimony as a judge."
The lieutenant that was in command of the infantry decided he wanted to be in charge, and his decisions and his thoughts on the best way to proceed would have resulted in most likely everyone's deaths. I could not allow that to happen.
And how was the situation resolved?
One of our newer recruits, the young gentleman who was formerly a pirate that we captured, decided to squash the argument. Quite literally, I'm afraid.
Did you feel that this was an appropriate way to handle conflict resolution?
I do not, but given it happened outside of our control, we decided to make the best of the situation and continue on, as we were in a very precarious position at the time.
And if you were in a situation, again, where the chain of command had broken down and two equally ranked unit members were at ends with each other, where would your judgment fall? How would you resolve this situation a second time, given the knowledge you have now?
Ideally, the situation should have been resolved in private. Unfortunately, I was not provided that opportunity.
And if you didn't have that opportunity, say, if the lieutenant in question started an armed mutiny with the infantry squad?
If not presented with the opportunity, the option that, in situations like that, the cohesive maintenance of the unit and the survival of our people is of paramount importance. Whatever option gives us the best chances of survival in that case is the one I would go with.
So the commander, Crystal Loft, leans forward again and says, "I want to talk about what you've done with my unit, Aridin. What is this I see here about you stripping a Mechwarrior of their mech? 2 Mechwarriors, in fact."
That was done to grant us, as I said, the situation was dire, and that granted us the best option we had at the time for success and continued survival. It's not a done thing. I am very aware of that, and under any other circumstances, that sort of thing would be avoided. But at the time, situations called for drastic measures. And in thinking back and looking at the situation with hindsight, I would still do the same thing again. If
So,
put in the exact
just to finish up this little recap of your actions, I want to call into question your leadership. I see here that all of my infantry are dead. Apparently, you left them on the dropship, and when the dropship started to roll, all of them were crushed. How do you answer to these particular charges?
If you also recall, the planet that we were on at that time was a frozen ball of ice. If they were to leave the dropship without proper adequate protection, they would die. At least in the dropship, they had a chance.
Very well, Lieutenant. I've heard your testimony. This board dismisses you, and we'll have a decision ready for you summarily. The area begins to fade to black, and the next thing we get is Heavy 7 dressed in full dress uniform, drinking a vegetable smoothie in the familiar Crow's Nest gallery, as Howler, the pirate pilot that we had heard of previously, is sitting across from him just like, "Yeah, man, everybody's doing it now. All you got to do, old man, is just drink this kind of stuff. You'll flush the toxins right out of your system." You're muted. Oh no, you're muted, Red.
Muted.
So he's not drinking it yet. He's just like eyeballing it very suspiciously. Like it's it's an unscrupulously large like container. It's like super thick, like green. Like somebody just fucking blended like a cabbage and added like syrup.
So he runs a hand through his incredibly messy bed hair and says, "Look, you know what Melissa said. If you don't start doing this crap and taking care of yourself, we're not going to listen to your orders anymore, sir."
And he doesn't say anything. He just kind of like looks out of the top of his eyeballs and he reaches out and he grabs a cup and he slides it closer and he has like a straw, but it's like, you know how you buy those like custom like large straws because it has to be because it's so thick. And he smells it and makes a disgusted face. And he looks back up and he's like, you know, this is only because you saved my life, right?
So he nods his head and is like, "I'd do it again in my own Battlemech."
He gives him like the not bad Obama face, and then drinks. He takes a slurp of this disgusting drink and grimaces, and you could tell that if this were a religious experience, it would be the negative kind and not the positive kind.
So while you're in the middle of drinking it, someone slaps you on the back really hard and plops down on the seat next to you.
He swallows so hard that it's painful to watch.
It's Dr. Brian Falstaff, aka Dr. Assman. He's just like, "Whoo! Oh, my Gurk! I see you're drinking that shit now, man. Those kids got to you.
Watery.
Your GTGs, your high-glycerides, triglycerides, quad-glycerides, all your stuff's looking terrible, old man. You got to cut the drinking out."
He's like, wait.
Russians walk by and tosses the doctor a beer.
He catches it, and he does that thing where he opens it by bonking it on the table. And
I slap it out of his hand. Like, just shatters against the wall. Just fucking slap it right out of his hand.
Hey, what gives?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. And then I just very slowly and deliberately hold the drink in front of me and drink it in front of him. I'm just worried about your glycerides or whatever the fuck you're talking about.
My glycerides are fine. I practically got septuple glycerides.
Well, let's keep it that way then.
He's like, "I have a healthy lifestyle of eating only incredibly raw meat and drinking raw beer."
Raw beer.
I prefer only the Lao stuff.
You're a son of a bitch. And that's all I have to say on that topic.
Okay. We fade to black again, and in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen again, it's just all question marks for time, place, location. Goldstag, you're looking through some mail. You keep getting these weird messages back from the local Comstar office. Every time you try to talk to someone about your experience on Core, about the clans, you get weird messages back where it's clear that your message has been chopped into pieces and that whoever's messaging you back doesn't reference Core at all, doesn't reference the clans, and it's just like, "Oh, it's so great to hear from you again. I'm glad you had a great experience in the periphery." And whenever you contact the Comstar support office, they're just like, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Thank you for choosing Comstar. We're in the process of upgrading our hyperpulse generators.
Yeah,
please
exactly.
Yeah. I'm just gonna type something here and send that off, because that's never been tampered with ever.
So at that time, you get a priority message in from Comstar. It's Circuit 1, which means it's being sent from a Comstar office directly to you at great expense.
All right. I'll have a look.
You open it up, and it's not a text message. It's a video message. It's actually a live feed from the local Comstar office.
Mm-hmm.
A Comstar acolyte says, Mr. Goldhirsch, do you have a moment to speak? The local presenter wishes to speak with you.
I think I have time in my schedule.
Please hold. And then it plays the Comstar theme as their logo appears on screen, slowly coming out of, like a fade from black to show like the white Comstar beacon of hope. And then it cuts to a jowly old man with incredibly terribly maintained sideburns who says, "Oh, Mr. Goldhush.
Oh, God.
My name is Presenter Alderon. I am the presenter of the local Comstar office. 20 years! Glad to meet you."
Likewise.
"Son, I know you've done some work for the Explorer Corps on our behalf, so I wanted to inform you that there's been some work that your family's been doing for us. And I'm afraid to report that your mother, father, and older brother have failed to check in for the last 3 months. They were hired through the Mercenary Review Board, the Combine, in order to check out some pirate activity in the periphery. And they have failed their scheduled check-in date 3 times, and so we are officially listing them as missing in action. So very sorry, son."
Do one day the family history would come back to us.
What a incredibly practical response.
The grandparents went missing that way as well.
Don't see any mention of you being a sociopath in this file.
No, I'm just trained in the Draconis Combine.
Right. And you're a doctor, of course.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Death and losing people you love is not sent out of us in training. But
if you require any emotional counseling, Comstar is always here for you, my boy.
Thank you for your offer.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Would you be willing to send this message off to my sister in the Lyran military?
Of course, I'll take the message myself. What would you have it say?
Just the same as you told me, as well as little brother is fine.
Such a message is already on its way.
Thank you.
Excellent. And you are back from your trip into the periphery. Yes. Excellent.
Yes.
I'll have that sent away in a jiff.
Thank you.
Mr. Goldhirsch, my condolences, and have a good day.
And you too as well.
So instead of the call ending, it does the Comstar logo, which fades to black while the Comstar theme plays. It's like AT&T.
Comstar is on your side.
Yeah, Comstar is on your side. And we fade to black to Bandito, who's meeting with 3 very similar looking ethnically Japanese siblings who are each at least 1 year apart in the mech bay. They are standing beside a hunchback, a panther, and a warhammer. And they can see in the background Goldstag, and they're all like evil-eyeing him. They appear to not like Goldstag already, having just joined the unit. But when you approach Bandito, they all bow as one, and the older sister, Kimiko, says, Sir Gray. So you are to be our instructor in this unit.
Indeed. I'm Warrant Officer Vincent Gray. Are we promoted at this point?
Yes.
Say so? Okay, yeah. Yep. Warrant Officer Vincent Gray. I will be instructing you as I don't have much else to do, and I'm a decent mech operator.
Excellent. I'm Kimiko, and these are my brothers, Tachi and...
How old do they look?
So she's 25, Tachi's 24, and Shinji...
Okay. All right. Well, pleasure to meet you all. How much experience do you guys got?
When you say that, they all bow to you again. So Tachi jumps in and is like, experience. We've spent years defending Rasselhag from bandits. And then you can see Shinji is wearing a katana just like the one Goldstag has that you get when you graduate Shunjiang Military Academy, right. Which means he's technically like a pretty good mech warrior.
Mm.
So I saw you guys eyeing Goldstag there a little bit. Not kind like. What's going on there?
So Kimiko steps in and says, it is a difficult transition for us from Draconis Combine to Rasselhag to a mercenary company. Where we come from, mercenaries are looked down upon, but Yakuza are looked down even further. And while we can prove nothing, he has many friends within the Yakuza. They are criminal scum who are always attempting to take over our government.
I can understand that. But you don't have to worry about that because he's not going to be in any contact with any of those people at all.
I have your assurance of this, Sir Gray.
That or I'm going to shoot him myself.
Very well. That is an acceptable punishment for Yakuza.
I just say over to them, I heard that.
Good, I hope you did.
You should have. I said it loud enough.
So Shinji steps forward and says, Sir Gray, I wish to know, can we get into a mech duel? I wish to test out my Warhammer as soon as possible in the simulator.
Oh, in the simulators, yes. Sure.
I didn't think we would engage in the middle of the mech bay. That would be reckless and dangerous.
No.
And if we blew a hole in the side of the ship, everyone would be stuck outside.
I wasn't expecting you in the middle of mech bay either. I thought we would get on land somewhere, and then never mind. Don't worry about that.
It's also fine if you would like to have a sword duel as well. I am a skilled samurai.
I am not.
Very well. Let us duel with our mechs then.
That's more more to my style. All right.
So we cut back to present day where Captain Harridan and his warrant officers are all being briefed by Commander Crystal Loft, who is now running the unit directly, and a man named Lieutenant Avalon. Contact within the Federated Commonwealth. So Avalon has you all sitting around a holotank, showing the planet of Persistence. It says, Captain, welcome back. I'm glad to be serving as your liaison officer. All been much more competent than your file indicates that you would be.
God damn.
We had a real change in view of life after shit happened.
The clans.
Yeah, indeed.
Now, just to review our contract here. As you know, we believe Comstar to be thoroughly infiltrated. So, we have not posted this job with the Mercenary Review Board. As such, there are no insurances and no guarantees. This is a black operation and completely confidential. If you talk about this to anyone, we will bury your unit, quite literally. Understood?
Sounds fair.
Now,
yeah.
Fortunately,
I don't think any of us want any entanglements with the review board.
So he gestures over to Valkyrie, who is, again, sitting with her Thunderbolt emblems and her new eye patch, looking smug as hell in a corner. Your commander is very adept at contract negotiations, so we're willing to pay you quite a bit of money. Your unit is experienced at fighting the clans, and moreover, you've trained others to fight these invaders. Now, I don't know if you've encountered the Jade Falcons yet, but they are enemies of the Steel Vipers that you previously had. So, we are one jump away from Persistence. This jump ship, as you might know, has a lithium fusion ion battery. When we jump, we'll be able to make a second jump immediately. We will not be deploying the jump sail. You're going to jump into a pirate point above Persistence, drop all 3 dropships, and leave the 4th cargo dropship in reserve. Each mercenary unit, including your own, will be landing in a different section in order to engage one of the clan trinaries, is what they're calling their military structure of their clusters, which are equivalent to battalions.
Is that in the documents that I hacked previously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should have it already.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we know.
Persistence was recently hit, and the survivors indicated that many mechs were lost on the clan side due to the tenacity of private military corporations on planet. Therefore, we assume that we'll be able to complete this objective. However, our scientists and tacticians are estimating a 50% force loss. So, half the people you take in will not be coming home at the end of the day. But this is the end of the Federated Commonwealth if we don't stop these people. They have been taking planets with complete impunity. You've seen their technology. We need it. And that's what we're here to do. Their technology, their scientists, their information. Whatever you can capture and load on your dropship and the cargo dropship is what we need. We'll go in. You'll take a 1-day transit down to planet. You'll have 3 days to gather everything up and take back off, and a 1-day trip back. You miss the window, you're dead. You have any questions?
No questions.
No.
Right. I'll be dropping with you as an observer. But to be clear, I have no authority to give you any orders. I'm just there to make sure the job gets done.
Sounds good.
All right. So based on the mission orders that you all gave me during our break, the following happens. You return to your dropship. The previous orders that Captain Crow had to be on the jump ship bridge during jumps have been canceled by his daughter after he died and she was horribly injured. Now everyone stays safe inside the dropship in nice secure holds during jumps. You poof out over persistence at a pirate point and don't explode instantly on arrival, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, Butch McGurk immediately begins throwing up everywhere.
That's how it happens. He goes, hooray!
God damn it.
This is green slime.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's like a fucking 1980s Nickelodeon game show.
I think they still do that slime thing. The 3 dropships immediately detach from the jump ship and begin making runs to the planet. Your dropship is getting a communication, Harridan. Your commander is currently flying the ship, commanding the ship, sorry, and Prince is flying the ship, but they are piping the message to you if you want to answer it.
Yeah. I'll throw it up.
A 30-ish-year-old woman with completely shaved head and some pretty sick facial tattoos that look like a green falcon shows up and says, "This is Star Colonel Yesekai Shambag. I'm defending Persistence with the 4th Falcon Talon Cluster. With what forces do you assault this planet?"
Now, out of character, this is still only the second time we've dealt with the clans, right?
So, I mean, Bandito cracked certain things. You know of Bachals, you just don't know exactly how trials work.
Now, did we discuss beforehand how we were going to handle the potential of them issuing a Bajal?
Nope. I mean, that's something you overlooked, not something I overlooked.
Oh, okay.
What do you do in this? Like, I mean, it's crazy, right? If someone's like, "Hey, this is my military force. What are you coming with?" Hey, dudes, we're showing up with, you know, the 4th Air Group. How you doing down there?
I'm going to be honest with her.
God.
Interesting. This is all you trying to angle for that bondsman when it's all said and done.
I mean, I agree. Go for it. Tell them the truth. I'm for it. I know why.
Yeah, I'll lay out our forces, and I'll say we will be willing to entertain disposition of forces for our first engagement.
So, 3 mercenary companies then. And your target is the secondary spaceport. Very well.
Indeed.
I bid the 10 mechs of Charlie Trinary against you.
I will bid our forces that I have transmitted to you now.
Very well. Bargained well and done, Star Captain Maxwell.
We'll see you on the field.
1 day later, you begin landing maneuvers at the spaceport. The Persistence Incorporated Security Force private spaceport. It's a secondary spaceport on the planet. Your ship drops down with no opposition. You have deployed your units in the following order. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are dispatching heavy battle lance to the militia mech bay. You're dispatching medium striker lance to the militia mech bay, and you are holding your support vehicle light lance at the dropship.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need your tactical officer to make the tactics roll and get an advantage as you move. Okay. And I guess that you get to show off all of the cool stuff people designed for this show.
8 plus 5, I think it's a 13.
That is about what that is.
That is a 13, yeah.
They have a 7 plus 4 is an 11. So you all will be attackers. They will place first. You get to decide which side of the map you want to come in. Up, down, left, or...
See, it's pretty uniform.
They would come up from up.
Okay, so you're going to come from up?
Any objections?
So you're saying
they have more.
You're saying you want to come in from here?
Yeah, so that way it's a split and they're mostly left in the open.
Got you. So they'll have to come from the opposite end,
yes.
Correct?
Yep.
I like that idea.
So they have to come from the water.
Yeah.
All right, I like that idea.
Are we understanding that correctly, Arthur? They'll have to come from the water?
Yep.
It's better off for Rad and I, and they are pretty much left in the open.
As well as me, because I'll be on higher ground with my...
What's I'm sorry, what is your philosophy behind that? That they're in the open and we're not, but we're the attackers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we get the cover of the tree line. We get the cover of the trees, but they also get the benefit of heat dissipation from the water and the lack of cover. They have a lack of cover. So we do have a slight advantage there.
Do we know that they're going to run at us? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So far, yes. But the thing is, Rads, that we will have cover so that way we're not going from the long end from like the west or east side going over to them, having to jump around the trees and hills and everything over there. We're pretty close as compared to going from side.
Okay.
If you're looking from, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I see more cover opportunities going the other direction because there's more cover between either side of the battlefield.
Don't forget,
so I feel like
classes.
I mean, so just real quick here, we have made a decision. I don't want to like equivocate.
Yeah. Okay.
At the start,
cool.
Your tactical officer has made the decision.
Let's do it.
They have 4 mechs in defense of this site. They split 2 mechs, commando and a mistlink, fight your second lance, and take a summoner B and an adder to fight you. Your war books have all been updated with the information that Bandito cracked from several of the clan codexes, which include information about all of these mech types. You're correctly identifying them rather than inability to.
Like just getting where it was like for the catapult, we got to make sure the
now you get the
and
correct names,
for the,
even if you don't have their loadout. So you guys now get to place your 4 mechs within 3 X's.
It also gives. Yeah. Could I don't know if I could do a sensor just to get their loadouts or anything.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Might as well. So it's not going to be my final place, but I'm just going to do it so I can do.
It's going to be pretty tough because clans have real good ECM. I rolled double
8
6.
plus.
Get fucked.
Oh, okay.
That's an automatic success.
All right.
You do a sensor sweep and you hit a series of Guardian ECM buoys that have been set up around the militia base. your sensors come back with some shitty static. Unless you had a Beagle active probe, you're not going to be able to break this.
It's fine.
All right. Has everyone placed?
No.
It's me and Rad.
Do we now have an Archer? Black Knight Elves? Got the Wolverine going down, and then Rad has an Axeman, but there's no Axeman model because apparently no one wanted to make a giant fucking axe.
Actually,
it's more of a hatchet.
No, at least in like the straight up axe.
It is.
So, are we killing the mechs or getting to the other side?
This is a assault mission. You need to kill the mechs.
Okay, fair enough.
The other side does nothing.
Preferably, we want to get as much
hard.
As much salvage as we want, but we don't care about that. Right, Sid?
We always want as much salvage as we can, but it's more important to put these mechs down as quickly as possible than
indeed, since we have to do 2 more objectives after this.
I mean, remember you have to get back on the dropships.
Yes.
That Axeman's facing the wrong.
No. I haven't placed him yet.
Okay.
Sorry. I want to hang out with my Wolverine buddy here.
My Wolverine buddy.
The little brother.
And the Black Knight's just on his own.
Whoa! What the fuck?
You pressed F for flip.
I don't have a hand on the keyboard, so it would have been pretty tough for me to press F. All right, I guess there's good.
Press X to not die.
Oh, it's middle mouse. Middle mouse flips as well.
All
right. Now that I'm on Tabletop Simulator, I have to stop drawing because my computer won't handle all this.
Roll for initiative.
All this business. So that Archer is just going to have to wait till later.
There, and that's you.
Oh.
I got a 3.
Snake Eyes.
Wow.
We're off to a great start.
Aren't we adding leadership or something?
That's a great point. I think I'd still win.
Yeah. My leadership isn't insanely
I think you said you had a +4. I'm pretty sure you did.
Leadership, yes, I do have a +4.
Okay, I still win.
Damn.
Clan Mechwarriors are all trained at leadership, and this guy's a star commander, so he's got a little bit. All
6,
right.
We are fighting.
You get to pick 2 mechs to move first. Gonna go.
I'll go.
So, yeah, I have to be in the trees to get cover bonus, don't I?
Correct.
Okay.
I can go.
Very well.
Let's see. What's my move, walk, run? So I don't have jump jets. So, let's see. Walk 4, run 6. All right.
Same as me.
So moving down a level and into trees, is that 3?
3. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So I will actually move forward 1 and
don't forget your dice, guys.
I'm
turn. So that's a total of 4. And then 5, 6.
Can I just keep like one of each dice near me? Maybe not. That's not a good idea.
Let's see. Where's all of our...
Yeah, just in case people didn't catch it, the last episode ended on September the 23rd, 3049. It is now January the 15th. Well, now it's January the 16th, 3050. That is where we are at. Okay, so you jumped your Wolverine forward?
Yep, moved 5.
1. 5, 6. And that's
somewhere I have an AC 20.
I mean, I think everybody's actually playing Battletech right now.
And
they're like, shit, the show's on. That's fine. Also, everybody's off watching Infinity War. We don't have as many people live as we... Don't worry. YouTube is there for them.
Indeed. Give it another week. It'll be fine.
You guys get to move your last 2 mechs.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Oh, Axeman's actually pretty fast for a heavy.
1, 2, 3. Okay, that's 1 hex walk and moved 4 in total.
But walk 1.
Yeah, walk 1.
Axeman, what are you doing? You're muted, Rad.
God damn it! I've been talking up a storm over here to my fucking self. What's medium range on LRMs?
LRMs is what type LRM?
I mean, LRMs has the same range regardless.
14.
Okay.
Is me.
I just want to know because I want to, right? Because our job is to kind of try and keep these guys in your kill box like as best as possible.
Yeah, long range is 21.
So I don't want to overextend. So I will jump. 1,
Basically, keep
2.
him. If you can keep him 3. At least 7 hexes away from me, I'll be fine because this thing has a 6 min.
I think they're going to play. I think they're going to play like they usually will, since we. I don't know. It might have all changed when they see the Axeman.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping
back with the giant hatchet.
I'm keeping all these. I have enough trees in front of me for them not to shoot at me, right?
You need at least correct. 3.
I need 3, and that counts if
the angle. The angle might help you there too as well.
And that counts if I'm standing in one, right?
Yes.
And if I'm standing at one, it counts against them, but not against me. Is that right?
No. So it doesn't do that. If you're standing in one, it's only the ones in front of you that count.
Yeah.
But if you have 2 in front of you and you're standing in one, then you get a +3 to get hit.
But the way the trees are in front of you, like
you only
between
have
you
2
and the Puma,
right
yeah, their angle.
Yeah.
So I could be shot.
You could be shot, but it'd be pretty tough.
All right, and I jumped. Okay, I'm okay with that.
All right, so drop your jump die.
Okay.
My move options are for.
How many did you go for, Rad?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you doing that for me.
Gotcha. Here to help, buddy. So I think they might be playing how they usually play.
They just kind of run at us and shoot at us, right? Like, isn't that their thing?
They usually go one-on-one targets.
Oh, but they haven't radioed us to be like, we're gonna 1v1 you, bro.
Someone noticed that, huh?
I mean, I noticed that too.
Is that because we did the bidding and everything?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll tell you out of character, the Jade Falcons dispensed of that shit pretty quickly when they found out that the Federated Commonwealth would constantly. They developed a specific tactic called Falcon Fooling, where Mechwarriors would issue challenges at long range in order to allow infantry and armor forces to escape the battlefield. And once they were safely away, the Mechwarriors would run up, fire a shot, and then leave the battlefield. And then those infantry and armor would set up behind the mech, and they'd do it all again. And since that time, in the first 2 phases, the Falcons have been like, fuck honor, we're gonna murder all of these bitches. Some of the other clans are a bit less practical about it, but the Jade Falcons are pretty... and that is the end of the first movement round. We're now going to go on our break. It's 10 o'clock already. Yeah.
Holy shit.
We spent a shit ton of time
already.
introing and then doing flashbacks so that everyone would know who everyone is. The only major character I think we didn't cover was Rapier and the Russians.
I was about to say,
we briefly touched on a Russian.
We briefly touched on Baron.
I mean, I think it's safe to assume that the Russians just sat around drinking most of the time.
That's not an important character. She's just there to keep Bandito in line.
He's
got a desk job now. All right, we'll be back in about 8 minutes for the second half. Stick around, and we'll be shooting some missiles and lasers and other various objects at each other
at some point.
And missiles.
Yeah. Have a good time.
Lots of missiles.
I don't even know.